In this video series, we will learn about PowerShell network scanning script. This script will scan the device local network and give user a detail about the network, like how um, how network is working right now, like how many devices are connected to the network, which ports are open to the port open of the local machine, and this whole script is work as automated script, like user don't have to run this script every time when the machine boot up. This script will run as a background service every time the machine boots up. So that's the easy part of managing the networks. So in detail scanning, how the script will work. The script will first scan for the um, devices connected to the local network as of Wi-Fi network. So this will first scan for all the device connected to the Wi-Fi. Then it will scan for the router security, as how many devices are connected to the router, how many ports are open to the router, and which services are running on that ports. So this way we will get the detailed view of our Wi-Fi router. And if any new device get connected to the network, then admin will get a notification. And if the admin wants to scan the device, like if admin don't know like which device is connected to his network, then admin will get the prompt to scan this device, and it will give the detailed info about the device, as what's the IP address of the device, MAC address of the device, which ports are open to the device, what services are running on that port. So that would be good. Then next to the port scanning, like how port scanning will work in this script. It will shows all the ports which are open, closed, or even filtered port. So it will first scan for the local machine. It will scan for the local machine open ports, like how many ports are open, which services are running on that port, like MySQL, FTP, everything. Then it will monitor and not it will monitor the ports first. When the script will on initial scan, the script will save all the open ports when the machine boot up. And while we are using the computer, sometimes when we start any service and anything, it will open a port. And sometimes what happens, like if the service service don't stop, or if the service like stuck in a loop, then that port will stuck open, and that's the issue. If attacker can get any detail about that port, and if the service is vulnerable, then attacker can easily get into the machine using that port. So this script will scan every port on the machine repeatedly. So if the new port will be open, and if that port is open for a long time, then this script will notify admin that this new port is open. And if you want to close, then this script will close the port. And as I said, this script will auto run when machine boot up every time as a background service, so the admin don't have to run a script every time they start their machine. So about the learning process, in this video series we will learn about the PowerShell structure using main function. So PowerShell is a scripting language. So how scripting language work? As we know, C language, Java language, they all are the programming language. So in programming language, there's a program structure. Like first we have to declare main function, and then the program will run from the main function, and then it will go to the other functions. But in scripting language, the program will run line by line. So if you want to declare any variable and anything, you have to declare it first without using it. So in this we will learn how we will structure this scripting language as a programming language, like how we will structure this script as a program structure. Like first we will declare a main function, then we will declare other function, and from main function we will call other function to use the functionality of that function. So that would be new to learn about. And also for the port scanning and everything, we will use network mapping tool and map. So this would be good, like how we will use and map into the PowerShell. So we will also learn about that, and some useful PowerShell commands like to get balloon notification, pop-up notification, everything. So let's go for the first script. We will start from the how many device connected. Okay, so we will first scan for the device scanning. So in this script, first we will get the IP, gateway IP. So let me go command by command. So first is the right output. It will simply print the find gateway. Here gateway. So in this it will get the default gateway from the network adapter configuration. So this way we will get the gateway notification. This will be we will get the IP of our gateway. As we can see from this command, we will get two versions of the IP. The first one is IPv4 and the second one is IPv6. But for the whole script, we only need the IPv4. So using this split command, I first store the two IP into the gateway, and then we will split the command and just take the first line. So as we can see, we will get the two line. First one is IPv4 and second one is IPv6 address. So we will only take the first line IPv4 address. So this way we will get our IPv4 address. Then for the next one, so this is our gateway. So the every IP on the network will be the same as first three IP bits, like 172, 20, and 10. These three bits would be the same, but the last one would be changed. So like if there's another device connected to the network, so the other device IP would be 172.20.10, and the IP range for the local network is 0 to 255. So that would be 2 or 4 or 21, 25, anything. So for that we will just take the first three bit of this one, like 172, 20, and 10, and for last part we will use a for loop. So here I store the I split the test v as our IPv4 into the three section as a 3 bit 172, 20, and 10. So it will just so the new test IP would be 170, 20, and 10, and we will use that test IP in our for loop where we find other devices connected to our network. So as we see, this is a for loop. We can use 12255, but for testing purpose, that would be so long. So for this video, we will just scan to 1 to 20, and if it find any device on the local network like this here IP, it will get the test IP from here. So that would be 172.20.10, and so here is other here it will this is the variable like a last variable, so here it will loop IP would be considered. Then now our test IP would be created as 172.20.10.1 when the first time loop start, and for the next time it would be 172.20.10.2 as of it will go to 1 through the 20, and every time the IP generate it will test for the IP test connection IP count Q1. So if the connection is made, like if the IP give us the test connection give us the response, then it will take that IP as a take that value as a true value. So for if else, if the condition is true, then it will go to the loop. So if the IP respond back, then this condition becomes true, and we will get our IP. So first let's try test connection. How test connection work? Let's see. And let's try gateway. So what's gateways? Gateway is the actual IP of our router, and if we try with this test connection, let's try with different IP. So this is our machine IP. Maybe as a security reason, router would be probably blocking our ping request. So I'm using my phone as a router, so probably the phone is blocking our ping request. So that's why the router here. So that's why the test connection is not working on router. And this way we will get all our IP. So let's run this script. As you can see, within a second it finds 3 IP. So as we can see, like this is only the small loop value like as a for loop value, and still it can just within a 10 to 15 second it will give us the 4 IP. So if we try with the whole range, like within one or 1.5 minute, it will give us the whole list, like how many devices are connected. So this is the available IP on our network. So there are right now 4 devices are connected to our network. So using this script, we can see how many devices are connected, and it's easy to find how many devices are connected. So we know like if this is our like home network or the organization network and it is secure with the password, then we know like we only have 3 or 4 devices. So if the number of IP are like more than the 3 or 4 available IP, or the connected IP on network is more than 3 or 4, then we can definitely say that there's a outside member is connected to a network. So this script would be helpful to find out the how many devices are connected to the network. So next on we will go to router security scan as of how many ports are open and any suspicious activity on the router. For this we will use nmap. So actually what is nmap? Nmap is a network mapping tool scan uh, which will scan a network and give the result as we want. Like if we want to scan network for the port, then it will give us the everything, like how many ports are open, how many, which services are running on the port. It will also give us the trace route of our router, like how many pings are going to a router and everything. So it's basically a network mapping tool. It will give you the whole detail about the if you scan a device or scan for the IP, it will give you the whole information about the device, like the device IP, device MAC address, which OS is running on the device, how many network card device has, which ports are open, which services are running on that ports, and which devices are connected to that device, like as a hard drive or any external devices connected. This tool will give you every detail about that IP. So using nmap for the security router security scan, that would be good. And this tool is so fast, it will give you the detailed information about the whole device within 2 or 3 minutes. So this is our let's try our gateway with the nmap. Okay, so as we can see, it will give the whole device device information as host is up, 997 ports are closed, and the 3 ports are open as FTP domain on 2153 port domain and 62070 TCP iPhone sync. So as I say earlier, like I'm using my Wi-Fi as a router, so this is the maybe any other port iPhone is using, and this is the MAC address of my device. So what is MAC address? MAC address is actually as a media access control address. So MAC address is like the uh, actual address of our device. So the IP can change. This is the IP, but the IP will change anytime. If I connect it to the other network or any other location, IP would be changed. But the MAC address will never change. MAC address, we can also say that the MAC address is the default address of our device. It will give the, we can say as a name or anything, the one and one address which will stay as same if you are on a different network or any different location anywhere, but this network will never change. This will stay same. So this is the another script. So in this script it is sorry, this script is same as the first one, like the finding gateway, network, everything is same. But in this script, at last I added this network gateway. It will just simply test the network for the open ports and everything. So this is just the only gateway scan. Like it only scan for the only on the router, like how many ports are open, what the router is, which device is it, and everything. If we add this /24, so this command will scan for all the available IP on the network. Then it will scan all the IPs, like which device has which kind of ports open, what which OS is running on that device, and everything. Let's show how this works. Probably it takes some time because it will scan whole network and all the other devices. So this is the result for our first scan as a router gateway. Now it will scan on the second device. Xiaomi communication. So this is my another mobile device which is Xiaomi. So there are like no ports are open on the mobile. So okay, this is the next device. So this is our machine. So there are so many ports open: 135, 139, NetBIOS, SSN, MicroDS, Apex, MySQL. So this scan will take time. So let's move on to the next one till it complete. So as we know that the test V is our gateway IP, and we already saw the result of the nmap IP24. Okay, so let's see that this script will work or not. Okay. As you can see, it listed all the available IP. Okay, so it started is scanning the router. Okay, so it gives the so it shows the same as the output we show here 21536008 21562078 sound communication. I will scan for the machine. So now let's stop this script here. So let that script will run in the background. Now we will move on to the third one. Like if any another device connected to the network or anything, then admin get notified, and if admin want to scan that new connected device, it will give prompt to scan the device. So for this, we will start using our main function structure for the PowerShell script. So let's stop this scan. Okay. So in this script, I divided this whole script into the different part, like as a function. Like this is the main function in which we find our IP as a gateway IP as a router IP. Then we call the connected device function. So here it will call the connected device. This is our connected device. This just simply put the output IP string. So this is our another um, function. Here is the IP scan function. It will list all the device. It will just the same one we saw before, just its connection, everything. So in this, we will first scan the initial as the initial scan. We will scan the network and save it to the output using a output file command. So out file will save the output of these IP scan into the file, and this append will append all the future output in the same file. So as the script will run, it will save the new IP to the same file. So we have all list of all the IP. And this is our gateway scan, just the router. So this function is a new device scan. So first the script will run through this one initial scanning. It will scan the IP scan function. So this way we don't have to we don't have to write whole code again and again. So in new device scan, it will just use the last initial scan file. So first it will get the data like list of IP from the initial scan, and then it will again scan network for the to find like if there's a new device connected. Then again we will call IP scan here, and it will scan all the IPs like available IP on our network, and it will save like using out file, we will save the output of that to the new IP list. And here we are saving the output to the IP list, and on new device we were saving to the new IP list. So there's one interesting command in PowerShell, compare object. So in other programming language, like we have to, if we want to compare two different files, so we have to like create an array, get all the data into the array, then we again have to create another array for the another file, and that would be so hard. But in PowerShell, we don't need to create any array and everything. Just using compare object function, we just give the reference object and the file. This is our get content file info. So the what get content is like, get content just get content is, as shown from the name, it will just get all the content of the file A. So we declare the path here, and we are using here, and the different object. So this is the reference object. File A would be the reference object, file B would be the difference object, and using format table we will only get the input objects. So as you can see, let's run this command. So this is the privilege of the scripting language. You don't need to like run every command in anything. You can just get whole script and paste onto the PowerShell, and you will get the output. Oh, so it will get the first IP list, new file IP list. So probably this command won't work right now because we don't have the this file and this file. So let's just run our script and see how we get the balloon notification and this pop-up notification. So how balloon notification work? So this is the parameter I declared in the main function. The message title, new device got connected, new device found, icon warning, timeout warn, and this is the assembly we need for the balloon. So this will just compare the file, and if there's a new IP on our network, it will take this file C, so the difference between the two files. So there's if the new IP would be, if the new IP, if the new device is connected to a network, then it will give the new IP as a difference. So we will just get the new IP from file C. So file C would get the new IP, and we will save that new IP using out file to this test A file. Now we will another get the another variable. We will declare another variable and get the variable and save that IP to the V, and we will just like, so this command will just get the one IP from if there's a 2 or 3 devices are connected to the network. So this command will give the, it will take the one IP at a time and it will save one IP to the different file, and then it will give the balloon notification to a admin that there's a new IP connected, and it will give the with the IP with the it will just give the with IP address as a balloon notification like this new IP is connected and you want to scan this IP. So this is just the all the value of the balloon icon, balloon visible true, show balloon tip. So this is the variable timeout title message icon. We declare it on the main function, and this is the unregistered event source identifier click event error. So this way if we don't like if the admin knows like if admin connected their phone or the device to the network, it will give the prompt that there's another device connected, but admin already know like, yeah, I just connected to my network, so the admin just will ignore the notification. So using this it will just like don't it will just like show the notification if there's a no action, uh, if there's a no action would admin take, then it will just unregister that event as an error action silently continue, like it will just unregister that event from the service and the balloon will like go after 10 or 15 minutes, but still there's a balloon notification, so that would like so show here as a notification, or maybe here over the notification bar. And if the admin wants to know which device is connected, and if the admin click on the balloon and take the action, so at that time action would be as our pop-up. So this is the system window message. So as a PowerShell, after the sorry, after the powerful PowerShell version 5.0.1, there's a simple command or just a one-line command, system window message box, and it will show the first, this is the message, first section is for the message, then the second section for the title, the third section is for the buttons like yes, no, cancel, and it will like go as from the capital letter Y, so this would be yes, and if the second capital letter comes like as a no, so this yes would be the first button, second no would be the second button, and the cancel would be the third button. And this will give the like error message or the uh, error image icon to the pop-up window. So if the response, so we will take the response like yes, no, or cancel, and it will save to the response variable. Like if the response is yes, like if the admin wants to scan, and it will, and they will select a yes on the pop-up, then it will scan for using the nmap, it will scan for the port. We can also add SV as a service version, but nmap defaultly show hold the data of the device. Like if you like port scan, if we do port scan, it will show all the version detail and everything, so we don't need to use sv command. So in nmap This is dash p dash. So, and if there are a lot of functions, as we can see, this is the whole arguments, like we can use SL, list scan, ping scan, and PN, like treat all hosts as online. It will don't wait for the response from the host. It will just scan all the port without waiting for the host response. Scan techniques like SU, UDP scan. If we want to scan a TCP, FIN, XMS, TCP scan flags, everything. Port specification like dash P and the port. Here we can use a one port, range of port, like as if you want to use the only 3 UDP port, it will scan for this only 3 UDP port. We want to scan the whole TCP scan as the range 21 to 25. It will scan TCP on 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and like this. Service version, as we see already, it will determine the service info, like which services are running on that port. The script scan. So PowerShell has so many scripts which will, if we uh, use this command, like this sc as our in our command and my command, that it will first scan for the port. Like if there's a 22 port open on the device, it will scan for the SSH, and if the SSH port is open, it will scan there's a scan for the version, and it will see that if the version SSH version is vulnerable or not. So there are a lot of scripts available in the Nmap, like as we see FTP FTP is a file transfer protocol, and it will run on 23. So there's a FTPD version 2.3.4 is vulnerable to one of the scripts. So if there's a machine which has FTP version 2.3.4, then using Nmap we can simply get the result of the vulnerability scan. So if we scan that machine with the sorry, SVSC, if we run the nmap command with the svsc command, then it will first scan for the port service, and then it will scan for the script, and this way we can find easily any vulnerability on the IP. So let me show you. If we want to scan all the port using nmap, let's scan our machine. So we don't need to like p and dash 1 and give range to 65530 whole port list. What we can do simply p and just this p dash tag. So using this command, we will simply scan, and map will simply scan all the ports on the machine, like available ports which are open and not. So as from the past result, we know first nmap only shows the only this kind of only these ports are open, but now it gives us the all the open ports. We can see there's another different kind of services running, another MySQL services running, and lots of unknown services are running. So here we will do the all the scanning, and it will save to the other directory where we can see the result. So this is our main function. This is our connected device function, gateway scan, new device function. So as we know, this is the scripting language, but we are using this as a programming structure. So for that, first we just created the main function, then the every other function, and we are using it, but we have to give it the entry point. So this is our entry point. So when the script will run, it will just go through the every function, main function, connected device, IP scan, and all the other function, and then sorry, it will go to the main function entry point. So where the script would start running. So when we run our script, it will scan all the function, and then it will start from the main function, and then it will follow the every other instructions. So let's see how our script will run. So this is the output to where every file would be saved. So there's only a three file, our three scripts. Okay. So as we already know, it will just give us the detail about the gateway information and everything. So scanning for new device. So right now we are here. Finding a new local device. So as we can see, there are new files are generated, IP list and new IP list. So probably there's no new device connected to my network right now. So it will probably show, yeah, no new device connected. But this time what we will do, I will first disconnect my one mobile device to the from the network. Now for this one we will delete this file. Now again we will run the script, and when the first initial scan will completed, I will connect my device to the network, and then when it will start scanning for the new device, I will connect my device to the network. So that's why I put the slip 20. So the script will wait for 20 seconds for going to the next execution. So we get 20 seconds to connect mobile device to the network. So this way we will see the how the balloon notification and the pop-up and the nmap scan would work. Okay, let's start our script. So the first scan we will not connect to mobile device to the network after the initial scan will complete. Okay, scanning for new device. So it will wait for the 20 seconds. I connected my device to the network. Now it will start the scan for the new devices. Probably this time we will get the notification as a new device connected. Okay, as we can see, there's a new device found, new device connected to the network. Okay, and here we go, the pop-up. Do you want to scan the device with the IP? And we will say yes. Now it will scan the device with using nmap, and that output file would save as a new device scanning detail. So probably it will take some time to scan the device, and as this is my mobile device, so maybe there's no open ports or anything, but probably it will show us the MAC address of the mobile device and the device manufacturer name. So we will wait for the script to complete. There's also one function as a out null. So this command will just don't show the output, like we are using the register event, register object event, so probably this will just print the output and everything on the terminal, like as on on terminal. So using this out null, so this will not print the any output from this whole function. So this way we like don't have to print everything on the terminal. We can just save what we want onto the file. As you can see, our script is completed. So let's go to the new device scanning detail file. Okay, so here is our new device scanning details. Okay, so as you can see from, okay, it scanned for the every port as we applied a tag p tag as our argument. So it will scan for the, and there's a two port open on my device, TCP this 3102.30.103, and this is my MAC address, Xiaomi Communication as the manufacturer name. So this is the whole script. As we know, we get the balloon notification, pop-up message, we want to scan a device or not, and we get the detail. So thank you for joining here to learn the PowerShell, and on the next video we will learn about the port scanning, how we can find the different port, how we will get how this script will notify, and how we can stop the port, and other everything like how we can script as a auto run and as a Windows background service. I hope you like this video, and I hope you learn new things about the PowerShell and the Nmap tool, and how the balloon notification works, and how the message pop-up will works. Thank you. We'll see you on next video.